Matt is directing two shows this season, the first being Young Frankenstein, which is the musical adaptation of Mel Brooks' movie of the same name. Arguably one of the funniest movies ever made. And here he is to tell us all about it, resident director Matt McNabb.
Thank you. So earlier today, one of our board members came up to my office and said, "Did you write down what you're going to say tonight?" And I thought, well, that's a pretty good idea. So I did. So actually, several years ago, a good friend of mine, we're having a conversation about types of music composers. He's a music composer, and he was telling me that there are composers who write at a piano and composers who write on paper. And he also told me that there was, unbeknownst to me, a sing-song composer, which is exactly what it sounds like. The composer hums or whistles a melody, and then someone sits at a piano and tries to figure out what notes that he just hummed or sang, and then puts it on paper. And then he used Mel Brooks as an example of a sing-song composer. And I thought to myself, gosh, that's silly. How can you be a composer when you can't read or write music? And it kind of boggled my mind a little bit. And then fast forward just to last year, I was actually able to work on a production of The Producers. I wasn't the director of it, but I was the lighting designer for it. And I was blown away. I had an absolute blast. It was delightful, hilarious, smart, and it was good. The songs were good. They were well written. I loved it so much, I immediately went out and I bought the CD of The Producers and also Young Frankenstein. And so I realized that Mel Brooks taught me a lesson that in the end, there aren't really any rules in writing or the creative process or in painting or any sort of artistic discipline, cooking, whatever. If it works, it works. And he definitely taught me that. And then he went and won a Tony Award and a Kennedy Center Honors. So I think there are two very clear reasons to come see Young Frankenstein. And the first is that it's one of those shows that just has more jokes than you can possibly count. One of those ones where the jokes come faster than you can keep up with them. I think there's probably thousands of jokes in the show. It's creative, irreverent, it's totally self-aware, it's absurd, it's the anti-Glass Menagerie. And that's a good thing, and that's no disrespect to the Glass Menagerie, but it is. And then from the second reason I think to see it is from a production standpoint, it is without a doubt the most ambitious thing we've ever tackled here at Lyric Arts. And I know from experience, because I've tackled some really big stuff here, which is kind of odd to say because it's musical comedy, but the show features a gigantic castle, multiple other settings, functioning mad scientist lab equipment, scenes in black and white, lavish dance numbers, ghosts, probably 100 costumes, elaborate hair and makeup, a lynching, but don't worry, it's funny. Things that are on fire, and other special effects that I won't say because I don't want to spoil the plot. I'm thrilled to take it on, and I hope that everyone comes to see it and has a great time. Thank you very much.